Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Thank you very much for stopping by, and today we are getting into the weekly reading for the sign of Aries. This is going to be for today, October 27th up to November 3rd. Alright, so let's get right into it, Aries. For those of you who are cross-watching, the water signs and earth signs are already up. And if you are looking out for Scorpio, because it's Scorpio month, you may be dating a Scorpio or cross-watching. Scorpio is also up. So, here we go. We have make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. We have release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. And soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. So, interesting, right? Combination of messages, right? But we won't know exactly what that all entails until we get into your spreads. But let's go ahead and pull out your animal spirits next. For those who are regulars, you will know that that's what we do each week. We pull out your animal spirits. And then we get into your 3-card spreads for the week. Now, animal spirits, remember, this does not necessarily mean this is your life animal spirit. We all have one spirit that a lot of people will associate with for their life spirit, their animal spirit. But this is just energies coming in and out of your current situation, or perhaps even individuals you may be dealing with. So let's just see what it all entails for you this week, Aries. And don't forget to check back. I'm going to be having end of the year readings and Christmas readings as well. It is the season, so Sea Serpent. Wow. So this came out also. It's one of these cards that doesn't often come out. Obviously associated with the alchemical symbol for ether or spirit. The otter. Beautiful water energy. All right. The otter. Very, very sweet, lovable energy. And the dragonfly, also another animal spirit that's shown up a few times this month for the weeklies, and it's air element, of course. So let's go ahead and get right into it. The sea serpent. Sea serpent is associated with the second chakra, which resides in the pelvic bowl, right? This is really the home of creative expression. The sea serpent is the animal spirit for expression. And the second chakra is, of course, where our desires, our creativity, our sexual desires as well, all reside. And so the sea serpent comes into our life at a time when we are healing wounds, we are healing emotional areas in our life that are associated with that chakra. Right? And more than anything, the sea serpent is ever watchful, talking about the potential, right? The potential of this creative center, how, you know, the potential of what you could possibly express, right? And when the sea serpent, when the second chakra is in balance, then we express ourselves creatively and sexually without any judgment, without any bias or apprehension. But sometimes when this chakra is out of balance, we can be very expressive in one area of our life and be completely stagnated in another area of our life. So the sea serpent oftentimes comes in to remind us to balance, rebalance that energy, that second chakra energy, and to get and to be more sort of at ease, at home with all forms of expressing yourself. Certainly if you're expressing yourself in a creative way or even in a sexual way, through going after your sexual desires without any hang-ups or without any self-judgment. This is a very, very good card for those of you who are right now almost even coming into maybe a sexual maturity. And I don't mean like going through puberty. I'm talking about later in life, that type of sexual maturity that you get once you become more confident about yourself and what you desire, and you are confident in going after those desires as well. Highly creative card, obviously. Now the Otter is water energy associated with bliss. Bliss in relationships, affection, cuddling. The Otter is just a joy to be around. And certainly if you are in a relationship and either you or your partner are resonating with Otter energy, it's really, really beautiful. Because there isn't, again, there's a lack, just like with the sea serpent, when this area of our life or this chakra, this energy is imbalanced, we don't have any self-judgment. The same is with the Otter. The Otter doesn't worry about jealousy or doubt that their lover loves them. They are completely confident in their relationships, and it allows them to be blissful at all times, to really enjoy every moment that they have with their partner in a very sort of, in a sort of completely like free fall, right? Almost in a free fall. They just completely trust the love. They trust the connection. And so, all you can see around the Otter is just bliss, joy and bliss and happiness. These are generally individuals or friends who are resonating with Otter energy that are really, really nice to be around. And their affection can be very contagious, right? Even if you aren't an affectionate person, the Otter can bring a sense of sort of physical affection and expression out of you. Now the dragon is the master of light, lord of light, illusion, and the mind. The dragonfly represents the mind because of its ever shifting. It's always shifting, changing, shimmering. The mind is very, very fluid in this way. Of course, this is an air element, and the air is, of course, associated with the mind and thoughts and communication, right? So the dragonfly, again, when this energy is imbalanced, then there is a fluidity, but there's also a groundedness there. But when it is out of balance, sometimes dragonfly energy can come in to remind us that not everything is as it looks. Take care, because it is, there is illusion, right? Our minds can really easily be sort of diluted in a way, or you can see things and they just aren't what you think they are, right? And so the dragonfly comes in to remind us of that, that even though we may really, really believe in our heads that we know what's going on, we don't always know what's going on. And certainly some things, especially when we're talking about dynamics or relationships, emotions, the way people act around each other, we perceive and make certain judgments, but we could be absolutely wrong. And so just remember to take, really, I'm going to say what you see, or what you believe to be true without any proof, almost with a pinch of salt sometimes, right? And be like, I could be wrong, right? Or I may not have the whole picture. I may not see the entire story. So these are your animal spirits for the week, Aries. And we're going to see how these energies play into the romance angel messages and your 3-card spreads. I'm going to pull out anywhere from 4 to 8 3-card spreads. Now, these 3-card spreads are, you may not resonate with all of them at all. They're not, they're not meant to be for the same Aries. These are all different scenarios that may come about this week. Okay, and so you may resonate with one or a couple or all or none, and that's fine. Okay, so just take what applies to your situation and disregard the rest. All right, Aries, let's get into your first spread. I'm going to move these up a little bit so we can get our cards in. And here, let's get right into it out the gate. We have 4 of Cups, 3 of Swords, and the High Priestess. Wow. Okay, well, for some of you, someone is coming back into your life that's hurt you before, right? They've hurt you before, and you're not really willing to take them back in. You're not willing to be open. And you're not willing to take their cup of love. 4 of Cups can a lot of times be interpreted as being obstinate, cutting your nose off to despite your face, refusing offers of help from genuine friends. But it can also be oftentimes when you have been there before, you know what this cup entails, and you're just not there for it. You don't feel that the offer is legitimate, or that they've made a real effort in sort of proving that this cup is worth taking. Four is the number for stability, and so with Four of Cups, sometimes we're trying to maintain a level of stability, and in so doing, you're not willing to just take any offer that comes in. Now, this particular offer certainly, believe to me, is from an ex or a previous lover. The romance angel message this week was release your ex, right? And so we have a Three of Swords coming in, and it's quite interesting because they come back with this cup of love, but they just remind you of everything they did before, all of the toxicity that they brought into your life before. And I'm going to say that this week, even if you say no to this offer, more drama comes anyway with the Three of Swords. There's even more drama that continues to come in. And I think you end up the week with a High Priestess, which means first of all, your intuition rings true this week, right? You already had a feeling. For some of you, you probably already had a feeling that this person was going to come back. Your intuition has already sort of woken up in a way, expecting them to be back, right? And then they came back and you say no, and then it's like more with the BS, right? And you end this week really feeling, I'm going to say for a lot of you, you're going to feel very confident at the end of the week. You're going to end out this week very confident, because the High Priestess not only is one of the top cards for intuitive ability, but also for self-confidence. Because the High Priestess is not just about the intuition, but it's about our trust in listening to our intuition and how that increases our self-confidence. And I think you're really going to come out of this week with a higher level. Sea Serpent is definitely at play. Being able to really express yourself, being able to express your desires. And that includes also being able to express to people why you don't want to be with them, right? Or what it is that you need that they don't have, right? And that you're willing to sort of say no to the cup of love. And you end up this week, I want to say, with an increased ability to express yourself. Certainly when it comes to love connections as well, you gain a lot of confidence. And of course, Sea Serpent is also about confidence. And this High Priestess is really, I'm going to say, Aries, for some of you, this High Priestess only kind of catapults you into the next sort of week or couple of weeks in this season to be very, very self-confident, have a high level of self-esteem, because you finally released this ex or this previous lover. Queen of Wands, Hanged Man, and Three of Pentacles. So some of you entered the week with a Queen of Wands energy, in the sense that you are ready to face whatever comes your way. You're ready to perhaps make the effort in certain areas in your life where you know you're going to be having some difficulties, some obstacles. Interestingly enough, there's a Hanged Man energy that comes in this week. And so in some areas of your life, for some of you Aries, it's still going to feel like you're stuck. It's still going to very much feel like you're uninspired. You're still kind of, although you start off raring to go. And I'm going to say this is in one particular area in your life, I think. Like, for instance, you come in, for some of you, maybe coming into this week really ready to face like career or work issues head on. And yet there's a personal issue maybe that's still kind of stuck, that's still kind of stagnated to a certain degree, right? It can also be that this week you come in, Aries, some of you come in, because Queen of Wands is, of course, fiery, but the emotional aspect of fire. So you could be coming in this week also realizing that you've been kind of stuck in a particular area and working through it, because you do have a Three of Pentacles. And Three of Pentacles really talks about putting your mind, body, and soul into your goals, into your work, certainly into your career. And so for some of you, you wake up to the fact that you've been stuck in an area, whether it is in a love area or a career area, and you really work through it this week with the Three of Pentacles. I'm going to say, I think for you, Aries, a lot of you, this is very much about work and money. It could be that you've been trying for a while, and you've already been having to go through quite a few obstacles to get to a certain level. But again, this Hangman energy just either this week it will show that you continue to be stuck in one area where you need to work, or it will wake you up to an area that you were stuck in before, but you're kind of making your progress. Certainly by the end of the week, you get back into the rhythm with work here, and I think things begin to move a little bit. King of Pentacles, Page of Wands, and Nine of Pentacles. So there we go. Some of you certainly come in this week feeling very comfortable. King of Pentacles, interesting. I want to say some of you, you start off the week, you know, feeling very confident, very comfortable. It could be that you've come into some money, Aries. You may have come into some money, or you may have come into sort of a good career move or promotion. Something has you sitting very well financially this week, and very in charge as well. I'm going to say whatever has come in has really come in as a result of your own hard work, right? And you come into this week feeling very, very good, like financially. And you have a Page of Wands, which is quite interesting. I'm going to say somebody may be reaching out to you for your advice, for your mentorship, right? This Page of Wands is a new sort of endeavor or project, I think, that you may be asked to join. Some of you may indeed be called upon this week to take the lead in a particular project or endeavor, because those around you have already noticed you and taken notice of your sort of your skill level, you know, your abilities. You have a proven track record, just like the King of Pentacles would have, right? And so you're being sought out. This could be interesting, Aries. For some of you, you're being very much sought out, or you're finding a new opportunity coming in that you really are excited about, right? With that Page of Wands. In any case, I think you're going to very much be taking the lead role, right, of authority in this particular project. And I think for some of you, it's going to be extremely creative. Sea Serpent comes in. I think for some of you, Aries, in an area where you've had to really work on money and sort of be kind of methodical, now this new sort of opportunity coming in with the Page is giving you an opportunity to be extremely creative, much more creative than you've been able to be in sort of your regular work area, right? And it's you come out with a Nine of Pentacles. So a lot of rewards come in as a result of that. Certain areas in your life begin to, I think, are going to increase as a result of this new endeavor. Nine of Pentacles is quite interesting because it is rewards coming in. But it's very much a singular sort of, Nine of Pentacles is sort of that knowing that, you know, you've worked very hard for your goals, your career goals, your financial goals, right? And rewards come in, but you know, this character is always in a garden by herself, and there's a sense of alienation from others because of her abundance, because she's done so well for herself, or because she's such an ambitious workaholic type of character that she doesn't leave a lot of time for deeper connections. And so there is sort of a sense of paying a sacrifice to have all this luxury and money coming in. And so in this way, it's quite interesting. I wonder if you may not even be mentoring someone about this, right? This new project or endeavor. It could very well come out that somebody else on this is resonating with Nine of Pentacles, and you very much are mentoring them on this sort of idea that be careful not to sacrifice too much of your life, your love life, for the pursuit of, you know, financial ambitions, right? Because I feel your position in this is very much mentor, leader, authority. And with that Page of Wands and Nine of Pentacles, it very much feels like the people you're going to be working with are younger than you, less experienced, and you have something to impart on them. And certainly Nine of Pentacles, one of the biggest lessons of Nine of Pentacles is not to sacrifice too much of deeper connections for the sake of money. Five of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, and more Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. So some of you certainly start off the week with a battle of wills, a power struggle. Five of Pentacles indicates a defeat it's a defeat and a power struggle that leaves you kind of paying the price financially. And I think you're really kind of reevaluating everything about what you've been doing. It almost feels, I'm going to say for some of you Aries, it's almost as if you've been working in a particular field. Let's say you've had a certain job, right, for a long time. And that job, you've been working with people you also consider friends, right? And you have this falling out. You have this sort of power struggle here. And what comes out of it is that you kind of realize who your true friends are. And the result is that for some of you Aries, you really reevaluate this whole job, all this time that you spent on this career or this job or this work, because you realize that, hang on a second, I thought these were my friends, but there's only some of them are my friends. Most of them aren't my friends. Look, I'm paying the price now because of a power struggle. And it's like, why did I put so much into all of this? Am I happy with the fruits of all this labor? You really reevaluate this and you move. You decide to make a complete change. Some of you Aries decide to make a total change in your career path. You decide to leave a particular job or a particular area that you've been working at, or even it could be a group dynamic that you've been working on. And now that you've had this falling out, as it were, this power struggle and this reevaluation, you decide very much to go off on your own and follow your own sort of ambition or objective, right? It's like, I don't want to say that you take a completely new turn in what you're doing, but it's very much like now you decide, okay, well, I'm going to look out for number one and I'm going after what I want to do instead of, working in this area where I'm always considering other people's feelings. I'm taking knocks because I'm thinking we're a family, we're friends, and here it turns out we're not, and I should have been on my own path the whole time. You kind of double down and really leave this whole dynamic. World card, Queen of Swords and Four of Swords. So some of you are absolutely starting off the week feeling great. You feel like you're exactly where you should be. You probably had to come up the last period of time. Maybe everything's kind of slotted into place. You may have gotten that job, gotten that apartment. Everything's kind of moving very nicely. You feel like you're exactly where you need to be. Interestingly enough, though, there is an occasion that comes up this week with a Queen of Swords where there is sort of like an opportunity. I'm going to say either an event or an opportunity, a meeting, somehow you meet up with somebody and a discussion is had. There's some kind of major discussion had, and it's about really dropping. An example would be you're moving along quite nicely this week, Aries, right? And you bump into someone that you haven't spoken to for a while. Maybe you had a falling out with them, or maybe you were lovers for a brief time, but it didn't work out. You run into this person, right? And the example I want to give is that, like, now you're feeling good. They're feeling maybe pretty good. We're not sure. But you run into each other and you have this conversation where you completely drop your mask. You completely drop whatever airs you've been putting on with this person. They completely drop it with you. I mean, it's like you guys really lay your cards on the table. This could be a connection where that communication hadn't happened before. And now that you're feeling good and they are wherever they're at in their life, it's almost like everything lines up perfectly for you guys to finally have that extremely honest conversation. Could be about releasing an ex as well, right? Interestingly enough, as a result of this, you kind of take a step back and call a truce and say, hang on, before I make any more moves in the rest of my life, I need to think about things. This conversation that you have with this person really changes your mind on a lot of issues. It's almost as if dragonfly energy was at play, because it's like you thought you knew the situation and you have this conversation, this kind of bare bones, laying all the cards on the table conversation with somebody. You realize that you had it wrong. You realize you had some things wrong and other things right, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And this kind of awakening or realization really puts you into strategy mode. Puts you into sort of, let me take a respite and think about my next move. Because I think for some of you Aries, you're going to be surprised in what areas you were right and what areas you were wrong. I think they're going to be very surprising for you and definitely put you not so much on the defensive, but puts you into a very contemplative state of mind where you're really thinking about the next move that you want to make in your life in general. All right, guys, this is your reading, October 27th to November 3rd. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you enjoyed this reading, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share the video on your social media with other Aries you may know. Don't forget to hit the bell for notifications so you know when I'm uploading. But for right now, Aries, have a wonderful week. We are in Scorpio season, going into Sagittarian season next, but it's proving to be a fiery next couple of months so far. So we'll see how that all plays out for our lovely Aries as well. And I'll see you next weekend for the weeklies. Bye-bye, Aries.